Now, I do want to just bring you some more detail about the situation in Slovakia. The Prime Minister there has been shot and injured. Robert Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, shot and injured this afternoon while on a visit to a town some 150 kilometres away from the capital, Bratislava. A suspect has been detained. We're not certain whether or not this suspect is the shooter involved, but the Prime Minister has been taken to hospital for treatment. Fico, described as a populist, came back to power for his third term as Prime Minister in September of last year, forming a three-party coalition which has sought to take Slovakia more towards Russia in terms of Slovakia's previous full support for Ukraine after Moscow's invasion in Kyiv back in September of 2024. This is the latest picture that we've got coming into us from that town in Slovakia. This is reported as the individual on the ground there who has been detained, the suspect thought to be involved in the shooting of the Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico. Witnesses report 4 shots ringing out as Fico was on a visit meeting supporters in this town that's some 150 kilometres away from Bratislava. He was quickly rushed into a waiting vehicle and the suspect was detained. He has been taken to hospital, Robert Fico that is, and is being treated for his injuries. It happened while outside the House of Culture, which is in the town of Handlover. Police, of course, have sealed off the scene while they continue to investigate. But these are the latest still images that we've got coming in, reported to be of the suspect in this shooting. I mean, if you look in the background, you can see that this wasn't a quiet visit, the Prime Minister going to this town of Handlover. There would have been many people standing by, as you can see in the background there, and this incident happening in the middle of the day. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament confirmed the incident and said that Parliament has now adjourned until further notice. President Zuzana Kaputova condemned the attack. Robert Fico, as I say, is 59 and was taken to hospital as a result of those injuries. 4 shots are said to have rung out following this incident in the town of Handlover. A suspect has been detained and is being, of course, kept by police while investigations continue. Well, I'm joined not only by our military science professor, Michael Clark, but also by our correspondent, Amelia Harper. I'm very pleased to see both of you. Amelia, what more do we know about this situation?
Well, details are still scarce, but they are starting to unfold. This incident took place in the town of Handlover, and this is a place 150 kilometres northeast of the capital, Bratislava. And this happened in front of the local House of Culture. And this is essentially a local centre for education and culture where Mr Fico had come out to meet with supporters. Police have now sealed off the scene. We've got an image up there on the screen. Local media is reporting that shots were heard before they saw him being carried into a car. We don't yet know who is responsible for this incident, but local media is reporting that a suspect has been detained. There we've got more images from the scene up there. Reaction is starting to come into this. President Zuzana Kaputova has condemned what he calls a brutal and ruthless attack on the Premier. She says, I'm shocked. I wish Robert Fico a lot of strength in this critical moment and a quick recovery from this attack. So, as I say, details are still coming in, but Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico has been shot and injured in an incident and is now in hospital.
OK, and as we are continuing this coverage of the news that Fico has been shot, there is a news conference that's taking place. Unfortunately, we don't have a translation of the conference, but that is occurring now as people in Slovakia are continuing to come to terms with this news there. the news conference of members of Fico's party. No translation yet, but we will get that translation to you as soon as we can, as that nation comes to terms with the news that the Prime Minister has been shot. As Amelia was telling us, it happened in this town of Handlovo, which is a small town of some 85,000 people, about 150 kilometres to the northeast of the capital, Bratislava. As I said, our military analyst, Professor Clark, is still with us. Professor, there's obviously going to be some kind of fallout reaction to this. I mean, more widely than just Slovakia. What do you expect the response to be in Europe and in Russia?
Yes, stick to the immediate stuff before we go wide, in a way. I mean, they've got a live suspect. So the security people, if they behave the way they should, the first thing they'll do is find out who is this person, was he acting alone, who are his friends, where does he go, everything that they know about him. They'll try to reconstruct the life of this person within the next 24 hours and then check out every line they can find, because the first question is he part of a group? Could it happen again to somebody else tomorrow? What can they do to close down any conspiracy, if it is? And they'll be very keen to find out, is this a lone actor? Is this somebody with mental health problems or with a particular sort of political extremist view? So there's a lot of work that they will want to do in the next 12 to 24 hours, simply to put a boundary around this incident in security terms, and then they can think about the broader consequences. But that's the first thing. If you've got a live suspect, you can do a lot on that basis, because you can identify an awful lot by reconstructing that person's life very quickly.
And Amida, I think the Interior Ministry have also had an update as well in the last few minutes. As we continue to watch this news conference, and there in the sort of the small box in the corner of the screen, there seems to be a picture, the latest picture from the scene as well, which if you look closer, you can actually see a suspect being taken away. Amelia, what's the Interior Ministry saying?
That's right. Well, we can see the end of what looks like that press conference there, more imagery from the scene there. But the Slovak minister confirms that there was an assassination attempt on the PM. So this is a spokesperson for the Slovak Interior Ministry, has just confirmed that an assassination attempt was carried out on the Prime Minister, Robert Fico. But we haven't had any update on Mr Fico's condition. But through the day, I'm sure those details will start to emerge.
Yeah, certainly will. And there is reaction coming in now from different parts of Europe. The Hungarian Prime Minister, Viktor Orban, has posted on social media, we were talking about him earlier, both in a similar vein politically to Mr Fico. Viktor Orban saying he's deeply shocked by the heinous attack against his friend, the Prime Minister, Robert Fico. That is the Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, on social media responding to this news of the shooting of Robert Fico in the town of Handlovo, which is just northeast of the capital, Bratislava, earlier today. A suspect in that shooting has been detained. And Michael, you were just saying that the fact that the person that they suspect was involved in this has been detained and is alive, judging by the images that we have, will be a great source of information to the security sources in Slovakia.
Yeah, as I say, they'll need to work out whether this is a one-off or part of a bigger conspiracy. That'll be the first concern. Then they'll want to find out why this person did it, and whether this person tells them or not, or responds to questioning in an honest way. They will just try to reconstruct everything they know about this character. So that's the first job that they will have. And then, we're talking about the broader implications. Interesting that Viktor Orban has made a statement. I mean, as different politicians make statements, I'll be very interested to see if they link this to the war in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. Because every statesperson should say this is wrong, this is awful. People, that leaders of governments should not be assassinated. Full stop. Nobody disagrees with that. So then, who goes that bit further and says that this is all part of the conspiracy against those of us in favour of peace, those of us in favour of ending the Ukraine war by letting the Russians basically hold on to whatever they've conquered? And I'll be very interested to interpret all of these statements as and when they begin to come through, as to how far this assassination attempt is going to be politicised in terms of the Ukraine war.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. And just on that reaction, Michael, there is more reaction now from the Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, saying that the news from Slovakia is shocking. His thoughts are with Fico, and also Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, has responded on social media to this news with a very similar sentiments about the situation in Slovakia, saying that she strongly condemns what she describes as a vile attack on Robert Fico.